Welcome to Faith is the Podcast. Have you ever wondered, um, if a relationship is actually part of God's plan for your life? And I'm not talking about just romantic relationships, but, friendships, family, all those connections.
It's a question we all ask, yeah.
Like in a world where we're always told, find the one, build that perfect social circle. It's so easy to get lost in what we think we want. But what if there's a deeper way, a way that aligns with God's plan?
That's what we're diving into today.
Okay.
We're inspired by this amazing video by Dr. Myles Munroe, who gives a really fresh perspective on God-ordained relationships.
Yes. I was hooked from the start.
Yeah.
He gives these 4 signs, and it's not just about, feelings or finding someone who completes you.
No, it's much deeper.
Yeah, so much deeper, yeah.
His approach is super practical, offering real things we can look at in our relationships to see if they're really in line with God's will.
Okay, so sign number 1 is peace. But he's not just talking about any peace, right? He's talking about a peace that's beyond our understanding.
Right. It's not just the absence of conflict or challenges.
Right.
Because even the healthiest relationships, will have their ups and downs.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So it's about something more than just, effortless.
It's about, there's something more.
It's this deep sense of rightness, even when things are hard, almost like this unshakable feeling deep down that God is working in the relationship, even when things around you are tough.
That makes so much sense. Have you ever felt that kind of peace? Like in a relationship where things were tough, but you still felt this calmness?
Totally. I think a lot of people have.
Yeah.
And it's different from just ignoring problems or pretending like everything's perfect.
Right.
It's about this deep inner knowing that you're in line with God's will, even when things are messy.
Okay, sign number 2. The relationship aligns with your purpose. Now, this is interesting because how do we even know what our purpose is?
That's the question, right?
Yeah.
And Dr. Munroe gets that.
Yeah.
He doesn't go super deep into how to find your purpose in this video, but he does make a really important point. The people God brings into our lives are supposed to support our purpose.
Not distract us from it.
Not distract us from it, yeah. So it's not about finding someone who likes all the same things or agrees with us on everything.
Right.
It's about someone who helps us become the best versions of ourselves.
Think about the people who've really made a good difference in your life.
Yeah.
They probably pushed you to grow, maybe try new things, even use your gifts in ways you never thought of before.
It's like they saw something that you didn't even see in yourself.
Exactly.
And they helped bring that out.
And that's so powerful to have those people in our lives who support our purpose, even when we're still figuring it out. Okay, on to sign number 3. The relationship bears the fruit of the Spirit. I mean, we've all heard about the fruit of the Spirit: love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control.
Yeah.
But he takes that concept and he applies it specifically to relationships in such an insightful way.
And he goes beyond just listing them off. He talks about what those fruits actually look like in a relationship.
Like in action.
Like in everyday life.
Yeah, he gives examples like how love in a God-ordained relationship isn't just a feeling, it's a choice.
Into action, yeah.
To honor and serve the other person.
Right. And patience isn't about putting up with annoying stuff. It's about making room for growth and, giving each other grace.
And joy, he talks about joy as this deep contentment that doesn't come from the outside, but from our connection with God.
And exactly, it's not about pretending to be happy. It's about this underlying peace and gratitude, even in the hard times that relationships go through.
It's like having a solid foundation that can withstand the storms because it's built on something real, something deep.
And that's what makes Dr. Munroe's teaching so relevant. It's not about finding the perfect person or the perfect relationship. It's about a connection rooted in God.
Yeah, and this whole idea of looking for the fruit of the Spirit, it's so refreshing to me.
Because it changes the focus from finding someone who makes us happy to finding someone who helps us be more like Christ.
Exactly. It's not about being completed, but walking together on this faith journey, encouraging each other to grow closer to God.
I think that's beautiful for any relationship.
Absolutely. And before we get to the 4th sign, I want to thank our sponsor, Save Soulmate.
They're amazing. Their whole mission is helping people find relationships based on faith and purpose.
Yeah, and they don't just match you on surface stuff.
No, they go deeper.
They look at your values and your beliefs and your desire for a partner who gets your faith.
They get it. They understand that a relationship built on God is stronger.
And they have this awesome waiting list.
Yes. You can join for free.
It's a great way to connect with people who are on the same page.
Who are looking for the same thing.
Yeah, who are seeking a God-honoring relationship.
Yeah.
Now back to the fourth sign.
This one's huge. God's timing, it's so hard to let go and let God, especially in relationships.
Oh, tell me about it. It's like we want what we want, right?
Yeah.
And we want it now, but Dr. Munroe says waiting is hard. Yeah, but that's where we grow.
He gives this great example. It's like, imagine a bird landing in your backyard. Just because it's there doesn't mean you should, like, trap it.
Ooh, that's good. Sometimes we try to force things that aren't meant to be or hold on to something that's not good for us anymore, you know?
Right, exactly. And knowing God's timing is about understanding that letting go can be an act of faith. It's trusting his plan.
Even when we don't see it.
Even when we can't see it, yeah. Surrendering to his timing, it's hard in this world of instant everything.
Oh, it is. We're so used to getting what we want when we want it.
Think about it. How many times have you looked back and realized if you'd gotten what you wanted, you would have missed out on something even better?
So many times. Those closed doors, looking back, they were blessings.
Exactly. And that's God's timing. It's not sitting around doing nothing. It's about seeking God's will, trusting him, being open.
So instead of like desperately searching or trying to force a relationship to work, we should focus on becoming our best selves, aligning with God's purpose and trusting he'll bring the right people.
And while we're waiting, we can grow, heal, learn, and be ready.
And speaking of being ready, our sponsor, Saved Soulmate, they're all about helping people find partners on that same path, seeking God's will in their relationships.
They get it. Shared values, shared faith. Those are important.
It's more than just hobbies or whatever. It's about connecting with someone who's on the same journey.
And they make it so easy to connect with like-minded people. You can join the waiting list. It's free. Start building those connections, knowing everyone there is looking for the same thing.
A God-centered relationship.
Exactly. It takes the pressure off. You're not guessing, wondering, do they share my faith? Are they serious about this? Saved Soulmate handles that.
It's such a gift.
It is. It's a space to be yourself.
Authentically.
Yeah, knowing everyone's on the same page.
And who knows? Maybe that's special. Someone is waiting there right now. God could be working on that connection right this second.
I love that. Okay, so we've got peace, purpose, fruit of the Spirit, and God's timing. They all point to what Dr. Munroe is saying. Relationships should reflect God's love and purpose.
It's not just about us being happy. It's about being part of something bigger.
Using our relationships to make a difference, to serve others, to glorify God.
Instead of what can I get, it's how can I use this to bring God's love to the world?
It's a whole new level.
Like that verse, whether you eat or drink or whatever you do all to the glory of God.
I think about that a lot with relationships.
For sure. It's about seeing them as ways to show God's character, his love. What really hit me was how Dr. Munroe talked about God using relationships to show us our purpose. It's those interactions, challenges, all that growth. That's how we figure out who we are, what we're meant to do.
And sometimes we don't see it until later, looking back and realizing how much those relationships shaped us.
Right, like those mentors or friends who pushed us.
God puts people in our lives on purpose.
He does.
He might use a friend to bring out a hidden talent.
Or family to teach us to be strong.
Even a tough relationship can show us where we need to work on ourselves.
Like Proverbs, iron sharpens iron.
Exactly. And it's not just about us getting sharpened.
We can sharpen others.
Right. God can use us in their lives, help them find their purpose.
It's like we can all be part of each other's journeys.
Yeah, like a team, a community.
And it makes me think about Saved Soulmate again.
Oh, absolutely.
They're all about helping people find those faith-based relationships.
Yeah, where you can really grow together.
They get it, Shared faith, shared values, that's the foundation.
Makes such a difference.
And they make it so easy to connect with people who feel the same way.
That waiting list, it's like a VIP club for people serious about finding love.
Yeah. And, it's not just about romance.
No, not at all.
Dr. Munroe talks about how God's purpose works in all our relationships.
Friendships, family, even work.
It's like God's weaving this huge tapestry.
And every relationship is a thread.
Even the tough ones.
Yeah, even those.
They teach us.
We grow.
We learn to reflect God's love
in everything we do.
So if you're feeling that nudge to find someone special,
someone who gets it, who's on the same path,
check out Saved Soulmate.
Links in the show notes.
You just never know who God has in store.
It's exciting.
Thanks for joining us on Faith is the Podcast.
Until next time.
Keep the faith.